How's it going, everybody? It is your boy Nicky D here, and welcome back to the channel. So, the Nintendo Switch 2, we finally have information. A direct dropped not that long ago. We have some videos from the Treehouse. Extra first looks are being bled out into social media spaces, and I want to talk about what my thoughts are about about anything regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. There's plenty of stuff to look forward to, plenty of stuff to criticize Nintendo on, and plenty of stuff to be critical about that's going on outside of the Switch 2 that's going to affect its launch. I'm going to talk about as much as I can. And as you can see here, this is also going to be a drawing video. I'm currently drawing a render that we have seen. You probably see it on your social media pages before. It's Princess Daisy and what looks like a jet ski. I'm doing a redraw of that as best as I can. So yeah, just a little something for you to look at while you hear me just talk about everything that I'm excited for, critical of, so on and so forth. So let's not waste too much time. Let's go ahead and talk. So we're going to start off with a positive note, and that is what I am looking forward to regarding the Switch 2. Now, plenty of awesome games were announced, and we're going to touch on those in just a second. But I want to talk about the system itself first. So it's going to be a slightly bigger console, and in portable mode, 120 frames a second, and when docked, it's going to have 4K support, a couple extra ports on the console itself, a fan built into the docking station, a new Pro controller that's going to have a headphone jack, a C button for the gamer chats or some other controller systems. So there's a lot to digest, but primarily what I'm looking forward to is the new resolution on the portable screen and how things are going to look on the TV with the new hardware that this thing is using. Now, from what I'm seeing and from my perspective, this looks like it's going to be a console that's going to be on par with the PlayStation 4. Especially considering the fact that hearing the term 4K and Nintendo in the same sentence, that is just mind-boggling. So I think this is going to be a home run for them in terms of tech. Like they're pulling up to the party, and like, yo, Microsoft, Sony, I came here to play. They are not screwing around here, because you see all of these games, and again, we're going to be talking about those in a second, that they have lined up for this console. And like, yeah, of course, you're going to have your usual suspects. Like you have Kirby, Zelda, Mario. But then you see Elden Ring is going to be playable on this console. And then we have another FromSoft game coming on here that's exclusive for the Switch 2. I was about to say Bloodlust. No, Blood Dawn, which I guess is supposed to be a spin-off of Bloodborne? I'm not 100% sure about that, and I'll get into all that stuff in a minute. But like, that just goes to show that this thing can run heavy stuff. And that's going to be really cool to see in front of my own eyes when that happens. Yeah, so like in terms of like the hardware and all these extra stuff that they added to the Switch, a lot of cool stuff. The camera option and like the gamer chat, that's an interesting choice. Now I kind of understand why they did it, but like I feel like at that, like, why not just use Discord? You know, just like you could all just get in a call together and just play portably at your desks or whatever, or like on your couch using earphones on and using Discord on your phone. Like, I don't think that is 100% necessary. If like, I'm sure Nintendo is aware Discord exists, but then again, it's a mega corporation we're talking about. They want to rake in as much dough as they can in some way, shape, or form. So it's a weird choice in my opinion, this gamer chat. But hey, we're talking about the positives here right now. We're starting off with the positives. We'll get into the critical stuff and head scratching stuff later. The new controller looks just about the same as a Pro controller. It might be me, but like it looks like the little handlebar things, I guess you can call them, or whatever you put your wrap your hands around to hold the controller. Those look a little bit thinner. It might just be me though. I'm not sure. But also having the option to add a headphone jack for that controller. I mean, I'm just like sitting here thinking like that is like Xbox 360 stuff right there. So they're a little late to the party on that one, but it's cool that they're implementing stuff like that. I like Nintendo finally kind of trying to catch up. I'm trying to think here, what other positives about the Switch itself, like the console itself? What are other things I'm looking forward to? Oh yes, actually the Joy-Con 2s, not more so the mouse controls, even though that is an interesting choice, but I do look forward to like seeing how that's going to be implemented in other games. But it's the putting them on the system and taking them off. So as we all know, with the Switch, you just slide the Joy-Cons on and press a button and hold it and slide the Joy-Con off. And this system, the Switch 2, is going to be using magnets instead. So they're going to snap onto the side of the Switch. And then to take it off, you press a lever or something or a button to take it off. That's going to be so satisfying to like snap that thing on. I'm just like, I could just, oh God. It's a weird thing to be like, to say I'm looking forward to that, you know? But I'm a simple guy sometimes, even though it is a $450 system. What's so simple about that? Yeah, so like the console itself, there's like a lot of cool stuff I'm looking forward to seeing with my own eyes. I cannot even begin to express how excited I am for that, but this is when we have to talk about some of the criticisms of the console and also the stuff around the console as well. As I said before, I have a bit of a head scratcher moment here with the camera and gamer chat. Again, I feel like you could just use Discord, man. I feel like that's kind of like an unnecessary addition. But again, I think they're trying to play catch up with Xbox and PlayStation, because they've been doing that for like ever. So I think they're just trying to get to their level at this point. But that's not really a critique, or I guess that is a critique, but it's not really a concern I have. One of my biggest concerns, though, this irks me so bad, is not more so the system price. I'll talk about that in a second, but the prices for the games. So if you go digital only, it's going to be $80 a pop for one video game. And then if for physical games, or if you get the access keys for games, that's going to range anywhere between $70 to $90, which is absolutely insane to me. $90 for that game, for any game that's coming to the Switch too, for that matter. The new Mario Kart, that's probably going to be $90. Elden Ring, that's going to be $90. Kirby Air Riders, that's probably going to be $90. It is just like buck wild to pay $90 for a video game. Granted, I think the writing has been on the wall ever since GTA 6 has been slated to be $100. Now, GTA 6 is not coming to Nintendo Switch. That's going to be for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, but they're getting separate dates. I think Xbox and PlayStation 5 is getting releases first, and then like 6 months to a year later it's going to be PC, if I remember right. Somebody double check me on that one. But it's still just so wild to me that it's going to be $90 for a game. Ugh. Now, to those who are concerned about replaying their Switch 1 games and having to rebuy them on Switch 2, fortunately for some of these games, like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, we'll use those as examples here. They're going to offer upgrade packs, and it looks like that's going to be I think either $5 or $10 to upgrade the games. That way it looks better for the Switch 2. And $5 or $10 for a upgrade pack, I don't think is a terrible asking price. Personally, I think it should just be free. But $5 or $10, that's not terrible. And the console itself being $450. Personally, I feel like you can make a case. I hate to be a fence rider here, but I feel like you can make a case either for or against this price. Now, I do think I don't think 450 is a terrible price, but I feel like Nintendo could have been a bit more generous. Like maybe have the console $400, $475 at the or $475, $375 at the very, very least. I think that would be a bit more reasonable. I don't think 450 is too unreasonable, but but I do get why people are like flabbergasted at the price of this console. Now, granted, we are looking at a system that is going to be on par with the other, or at least competing with the other modern consoles, Xbox, PlayStation 5, I guess in some cases PC, even though PC generally is better. And this is coming from a guy who absolutely loves Nintendo games. But PC, generally speaking, like they run better. Like if I were to play Dark Souls, let's say. Now I know Dark Souls is available on the Switch, but if I were to play that on my Switch as opposed to my PC, I know for a fact it's going to be just a little compared to PC. Again, my biggest problem is the prices for the games. $90 for flipping Mario Kart, man. That is absurd. Oh man, Nintendo fans are going to be eating that up still, especially the diehard Nintendo fans. And I'm probably going to be a flipping shill. I'm going to be a flipping shill. Oh my god, can I talk? I'm going to be a flipping shill for them. Oh god. One thing that bothered me initially was the access keys, but then I kind of read about it a bit more, and my concerns for it did ease some. I'm going to pull it up really quick so that way I can read off what these access keys were like. Now, my initial understanding for what these access keys would be like is that you purchase the access key, okay, and it works like a cartridge. You pop that thing in like your Switch, like the Switch cartridges. And to my understanding, the access key only has some of the game, and you have to be connected to the internet to play the rest of the game. And I thought, is that going to be a thing for all these Nintendo Switch 2 games? If I'm like at the airport, and if I feel like playing Dark Souls or Elden Ring, am I going to need to stay connected to the internet? Would I not be able to play Elden Ring at the airports? But turns out that's not truly the case. There's a smidge bit of truth, but not all truthful. So, according to this thing that I have seen on social media, so there's game key access cards, physical card that requires a download. Switch 1 had full game downloads. So the Switch 1 releases were just empty cases that included download codes. Switch 2 game key cards will allow the resale and sharing of downloadable games because the game key card isn't tied to a system and simply unlocks the game. So if I'm understanding this right, you are just going to need the internet connection to initially get the game, but after that, the access key should act like a cartridge, and so all you got to do is, if you want to play the game, let's just say, again, we're going to use Elden Ring as an example. If Elden Ring is access key, or game access key as they're calling it, I just need internet connection to download the game for the first time, and then after that, I just gotta pop the key in, and I could just still play it wherever, whenever, however I want, if I'm understanding that right. And they're still going to have Switch 2 cartridges. Like if I were to, for some reason, let's just say I wanted to rebuy Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2, I would be able to get like a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge, not a game key access. Something I initially thought was going to be part of the Switch 2, but I'm not sure about now. And if anybody has any information regarding this, please let me know. Backwards compatibility. I still have a bit of a backlog with some Switch games I haven't finished yet. So what I want to know is, would I still be able to play those games on the new console, or do I have to finish my backlog on the Switch 1? That's something I didn't really hear make mention in the Direct, and I don't think I heard any chit chat about that on social media at all. So that one is a bit of a head scratcher to me still. If you're aware about any of that, just please let me know in the comments down below. Tell me if it's going to be backwards compatible or not. Because again, like some Switch 1 games are getting upgrades for the Switch 2. So if you already purchased the game, you can upgrade it for an extra few bucks, and you'll be able to play on your Switch 2. And okay, fine, fair. But what about other games? Like, I don't know, Bayonetta 1. Would I be able to play that on the Switch 2? Now, granted, Bayonetta is a download-only game, so would I be able to transfer that over to the Switch 2? Because I do understand that you can transfer data from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, but there's a certain avenue that you gotta take. You can't just pop one SD card out to another, because the Switch 2 requires a specific type of micro SD card. So yeah, they're being a little stingy with that. So that's probably not going to please too many people, in my opinion. Now, here's another point of contention that I have, and this is outside of Nintendo's control. But what's happening right now is, okay, so we're gonna get a little bit political now. Sorry guys, politics just doesn't care who you are, it's going to come after you regardless, even in the gaming industry. Fun fact guys, as Philip DeFranco once said, you may not mess with politics, but politics will mess with you, and politics are going to be messing with our video games. Because here's the deal. President Donald Trump is issuing tariffs. Tariffs are like a tax on foreign imports. Now, almost everything we get is from another country. Like my computer, for example, I will wager anything this thing was like built in Taiwan or something like that. And the new Switch consoles are no exception. They're made in a different country. And if I remember right, that the country that these Switch consoles are being developed in, Trump imposed a 49% tax on goods and imports from there. So, according to a post I saw on social media, I didn't do the math, so I don't know how truly accurate this is, but if they are presumed to be right, with the $450 price tag right now for the base console of the Switch, or of the Switch 2 rather, and with these tariffs added on top of that, the system would be over $600. And maybe the games are going to be more. I don't know what the status is regarding the video games that's coming to the Switch, or to the Switch 2. So I don't know how much of an effect the tariffs are going to be. That's why I've been seeing some people just saying like, look, if I end tariffs or not, if I get the console, I may just go digital, because like you can't tariff a digital game. That's stupid. And it is going to be a bit cheaper than the base physical prices anyway, before tariffs are even considered into the equation. Still $80 for a digital download though. That's wild. Man, like, and it's so bad right now because Nintendo is holding off on the pre-orders of the console because of the tariff situation. So they're holding back a little bit, and I guess they're just going to try to see what's what and figure out what's the best plan of attack going forward. And a lot of people are saying like, man, these high prices are crazy. Nintendo is greedy. I'm like, no, Trump is to blame. He's going to make the console even more expensive now. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a fence sitter here, but I feel like both of them are at fault. Look, I can rant and ramble about how much I don't like this current administration. Again, I don't want to talk politics on YouTube. Like, if you follow me on social media, you know where I stand politically. You know how I feel about this administration. But damn it, I gotta say something here. I don't like the guy at all. he is the probably going to be the worst thing for this country, and he is affecting every faction of government, video games especially, because of these tariffs. But Nintendo, they're no saints either. I love Nintendo as a gaming studio. They have made some of the best games that I can remember. I grew up love playing Mario Kart Double Dash. I grew up love playing Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, so many of my favorite games are made by Nintendo. Them as a studio, I flippin' love. But then you look at the business side and oh boy, soulless and greedy. Plenty of people were arguing about the $450 price tag. And again, like I said, I don't think that's a crazy unfair price, but it wouldn't kill them to make it just a little bit cheaper. Like, knock $50 or $75 off of that thing, man. Come on. Same thing with the game too. That's an absurd amount. I understand nowadays when it comes to developing games, it requires more time and more people. Like, you need a bigger team, and sometimes these teams are in every corner of the world. We're trying to work together. But holy smokes. Like, Nintendo, they used to be the company, the gaming company that, like, when Xbox and PlayStation were the most expensive consoles, Nintendo was a little bit cheaper, and a lot of their games, they weren't like these crazy experiences like Call of Duty or whatever, but you still had a fun time with Wii Sports or Mario Galaxy or whatever. They're a little bit more affordable, and you weren't going to get those like crazy experiences like GTA or Call of Duty, but you were still going to have a fun time either way. And now, like, they're kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but it's just crazy to see them kind of go down this path. And here's another thing I want to talk about with Nintendo. So this video game that's supposed to give you like a tour of the Switch 2 and have mini games to be used as like tech demos to show you what the Switch 2 is capable of. That thing is going to be full price too at $90. Last time I checked, I'm not sure if it's going to be $70, $80, $90, but like even then, for a game like that, running that high of a price, if it's $70 at the least, that is still too high. Wii Sports was free with the Wii systems, and like now they are charging like out the wazoo for a tech demo game. What the heck? No, I remember reading somewhere that Reggie Fils-Aimé had to talk Shigeru Miyamoto into making sure that Wii Sports was free with the console, with the Wii console. So it is wild, like, with this console and the Switch prior, with like 1-2 Switch, you know, like that game cost like $60 from the get-go. And like it was just like a handful of mini games that were supposed to be like tech demos to demonstrate what the Switch is capable of, and they still charge full price. And here's another thing with Nintendo: a lot of the games that came out, like Mario Odyssey, for example, that thing was like $60 when it came out, and I'm fairly certain that game has stayed full price, stayed at $60 throughout the Nintendo Switch entire lifespan. Same thing with Breath of the Wild and a few other mainline titles. There were a couple titles that were lowered in price over time, but still, it's just wild. Nintendo, I love you, but holy smokes, you are some greedy bastards, man. And like I said earlier, Trump's tariffs aren't going to be helping either. I think Nintendo did make the right call with pushing back on the pre-orders, so that way they could try to assess the situation and see what's going to happen. Now, it is up in the air. Well, I shouldn't say it is up in the air, but I think it is possible that Trump may dial back on the tariffs, either like make them a lower percentage or just get rid of them. Because there has been times with Canada and Mexico, Trump has been going back and forth with the tariffs. Like he would cancel the tariffs, but then impose new ones, cancel those, impose new ones. Congress shot down some Canadian tariffs not that long ago. 4 Republicans voted alongside Democrats to shoot down some sort of Canadian tariff. I forget how the full story went exactly, but it was something to that effect, I believe. So who knows? Maybe Congress would intervene and get to ensure that the gamers can get the experience that they ever so wants, or maybe Trump will listen. Doubt it. And maybe like dial back the tariffs coming from. I believe like the Switch 2 is being made in Taiwan, so he'll dial back the tariffs there. I don't know. There's so much up in the air. There's so much uncertainty. It is nuts. The fact that this man charged a 10% tariff on, I think it was called the McDonald Island, an island inhabited by penguins only. Penguins don't pay taxes. You're trying to get Pengu to pay his taxes? Bro, come on, man. I could talk about that forever, but let's go back to the positives here for a second. I want to talk about the games that are coming to the Switch 2. I'm going to talk about Mario Kart last. I keep bumping the microphone. But yeah, I'll talk about Mario Kart last, because that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. So, seeing the array of games that's coming to the Switch 2, like on launch day and what's down the pipeline, a lot of really, really, really cool stuff I'm looking forward to seeing. For one thing, I am very much looking forward to the GameCube Virtual Console. Wind Waker, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Gale of Darkness, and F-Zero. Did I say Wind Waker already? I've been meaning to give Wind Waker a shot, so now that I'll be able to play that on the Switch 2. Ooh! I'm about to experience peak, aren't I? Speaking of Zelda, I am very much excited to see the new Hyrule Warriors game, like Age of Imprisonment or something like that. It takes place during Zelda's time in the past in Hyrule, her seeing the very beginning of Hyrule Castle. It is, wow. Like that, I am very much looking forward to seeing. I'm not a Hyrule Warriors fan per se, but I did play Age of Calamity. I really enjoyed that. It was fun. Granted, I don't think you can consider that game canon because how the last few cutscenes are. But it was still a fun experience. I still really enjoyed myself. So I am very much looking forward to seeing how this Hyrule Warriors is going to be, especially since Zelda is going to be the main protagonist. Because in the first Hyrule Warriors game, of course, you're playing as Link, but you can also play as Zelda in that game. But it looks like Zelda in this Hyrule Warriors game is going to be the main girl, the main person, period. Full stop. It'll be cool also to play as Minoru and Rauru and like the other champions from that time period. And it looks like you get to see how the divine beasts came to be for Breath of the Wild. Ooh, man, I am excited for that. Kirby Air Riders too. Oh, jeez, you have no idea how excited I am for that. Family functions were so much fun when we played Kirby Air Ride back on the GameCube back in the day. Oh my god, it was just the craziest time in the best way possible, and we get to live that once again with Kirby Air Riders coming to the Switch 2 with Masahiro Sakurai directing. Oh man, I'm sure he was so happy to get back on the Kirby wagon. Oh man, I'm sure he was happy. I'm sure that man cracked a smile. What else? I did mention Elden Ring. I have not played Elden Ring, and my brother, he loves that game. He loves anything that FromSoft does. So I may be able to experience Elden Ring for the first time. Now, I don't know how well that's going to run. Even though it says the system is advertised to have 4K support, how well is this thing going to run on the Switch 2? Because keep in mind, we are talking about Nintendo. I feel like this thing would explode if it sees the color purple on that game. But I was talking to my brother about this, and this is also applies to the new FromSoft IP that's coming to Switch, which is a I can't want to say Bloodlust. That's not it. Blood Gone, whatever it's called. He said, in regards to Bloodborne, which was a PlayStation exclusive. What's his name? Miyazaki, like one of the directors from FromSoft, or is the director. He kept wanting to do like a new title for Bloodborne, or like a sequel or a spinoff or something. He wanted to do more with that IP, and PlayStation was kind of just sitting on their hands and not doing anything. And this is pure speculation from my brother. But he said, so he then went to Nintendo and try to see if they can work something out with each other, and it looks like they were able to work something out. And the way I understood what my brother was saying was that like Miyazaki wouldn't put a game on a Nintendo console if he didn't know what he was getting into, if he didn't think that they were capable of putting a game on there. So if Miyazaki trusts the Switch 2, then I think this is going to be a really freaking good system then. Because again, according to my brother, I'm not super familiar with FromSoft's IPs. I have not played a single like Dark Souls game. I have not played Bloodborne. I have not played Elden Ring. I have not played that mech game. I forget what it's called. Armored Core, I think it is. So I'm not familiar with the Miyazaki IP. But my brother, he said like he just wishes that if Miyazaki's going to be working with Nintendo, can Nintendo let Miyazaki be Miyazaki? If that makes sense. Because like Miyazaki, he makes, like from the videos I've seen, it's a lot of like, what the heck am I looking at kind of stuff. So like, how far is Nintendo going to let Miyazaki go with his creations? You know. But if they are working with each other on this new IP, or possibly a spinoff to Bloodborne, I'm still not sure what it is. Then I think Miyazaki might be fine. I guess I don't know. I guess there's a lot to be had and a lot to be seen. Another title I'm looking forward to is the new Pokemon title, the Pokemon Legends Z to A. Oh man, so I feel like Legends Arceus nailed the idea of a open world Pokemon game. I didn't dislike Pokemon Scarlet, but I feel like there's so much missed potential. There is quite a bit of hand holding too. I feel like you could say the same for the past 3 Pokemon titles. But I feel like they got it right the first time with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon ZA, I'm hoping it follows the same formula. Shofu said when he was watching his stream, that game looks crusty. I'm just thinking, it does not look crusty to me at all. It's like, it could look a bit better, but I don't think it looks crusty, man. Come on. Shofu, I love you, but come on, dude. Come on. But yeah, all I could really care about at the end of the day is, can I see what's going on the screen, and will it impede overall gameplay and experience? That's really all I care about at the end of the day. So Pokemon, yes, I'm looking forward to that. I did mention Kirby Air Riders already. What else was I looking forward to? The upgrade packs I did briefly mention with some of these games. So I'm definitely looking forward to replaying Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. There's going to be like some new extra content in the Zelda Notes app. I'm not sure if I want to do those or not, but if this gives us some more in-depth lore, I'm not against this. But a lot of people were saying like you're putting this behind a paywall, and I do understand the criticisms there. So yeah, what does suck that like this extra content is going to be paywalled. I don't think I really have anything else to add after that. So moving on, I did see an announcement today that Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming to the Switch too, and that's probably my new favorite Sonic game right now. I'm not even kidding. More so with the Shadow stuff. Shadow just kicking butt, man. But yeah, they just announced that Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming to the Switch too. And I have the game for the Switch. It looked pretty solid for the Switch though. Now granted, compared to like a PlayStation 5 or the current Xbox, probably not as great. But with this thing coming to the Switch too, it's probably gonna look a lot better. But will this thing have an upgrade pack? I hope it does, because I don't want to repurchase this game at $90. I already paid $70 for this thing. You think I'm going to pay more? Bro, come on, Sega. And Nintendo, for that matter. What else was there? What else was there that really stuck out to me? Seeing that new Donkey Kong game. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Donkey Kong games, but seeing it like an open world Donkey Kong game, and like everything is destructionable. I'm not sure if that's even a word. But like the fact that anything and everything can break, wow, that is insane engineering on the developers' part. So that's going to be really cool to see. But the big kahuna that I want to talk about, Mario Kart World. Oh, Nelly. This thing is going to be a behemoth. There's so much stuff that I'm looking forward to. For starters, of course, the races. You have a Mario Kart game, of course you're going to be racing. You have your traditional Grand Prix, but then there's that new kind of Grand Prix where you have to, when you're done the race, you have to race to the next track. And that is like, what? It's just a marathon of races at that point. Like, that's going to be like an endurance test. And I'm here for it. And then there's that one mode where, like, if you don't reach the goal in a certain amount of time, you're kicked out of the race, and you won't be able, and you have to like watch on the sideline for the next whatever amount of races there are left. So it's really a race against time for that one. That one's going to be very, very cool and very, very interesting. I cannot wait to smoke all my friends here. You hear that, boys? You getting the smoke. I don't care who you are. Come at me, bro. Ow, that actually hurt my chest. The things I do for bits, man. I didn't really get a good look at the courses. More information about Mario Kart is pouring out as we talk. So we might be seeing some more stuff. I did see some things regarding the characters that are going to be playable today. And of course, you have your usual culprits. You have Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach, Daisy, Pauline, Rosalina, Toad, Toadette, Bowser, like the usual suspects that you'll see in every Mario Kart game. But what they did differently as opposed to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so we had some other characters from different Nintendo IPs come into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Link, Isabelle, the Villager, some of the Splatoon characters. This time, it looks like it's strictly going to be just Mario characters. But they made some additions. And this is... I'm not hating. But I'm kind of scratching my head on this thing. Let me pull them up really quick, because I just saw them. So yeah, like some of the new racers is going to be Goomba, Spike, the fish things, the Cheep Cheeps, I think they're called. The Pinatas from, or the Piatas, or whatever the heck they're called, from Mario Sunshine. The Flippin' Penguins from Mario 64, they're going to be drivable. A skeleton fish, a crab, the snowman from Mario 64, Petey Piranha, and the god dang cow. That's just a couple. I'm forgetting a few. But like the cow from Moo Moo Meadows is also going to be a playable driver. And do you know what the wild thing is? Like, my jaw hit the floor when I saw this. The way they show that you can play as the cow was when they're showing off a new mechanic in this game where you're grinding on like rails and ropes and all that stuff. Like, what, you're just casually saying you can play as this character while showing off that you can grind on these rails like it's friggin' Sonic Adventure 2? Like, what? And the fact that there up to 24 racers are going to be in a single race, this is going to be chaos. I am, though, looking forward to seeing this free roam option, where you and your friends can just take these nice, casual, leisurely drives throughout the courses and other parts of the Mushroom Kingdom, take pictures. And another thing I'm looking forward to the most, the costumes. We're going to have costumes here. This is so cool. Like you can see in the drawing that I'm doing in this video, like there's like going to be alternate outfits. Like, of course, you're going to have like Mario in his usual getup, Daisy in her dress, Waluigi in his tall overalls and all that. But there's like different variations. Like you see like Biker Peach. There's going to be in this Daisy in like this, like I guess like swimwear outfit. I'm not sure what you would call this. It looks something on par you would wear while you're on a jet ski. There's like Aladdin Luigi, sombrero Waluigi taco stand is canon ? So like having these alternate outfits, it adds a very cute charm to this new Mario Kart that I just absolutely love and dig. Of course, though, none of the other outfits matter because I'm a Daisy man, Daisy main, and I just care about what she's got on. I saw like this Oasis fit that she has that has her dressed up kind of like Shantae. She has her own biker fit, what looks pretty cool. I really like the one that she has while she's riding on this jet ski. It looks super freaking cute. There's another one I saw. Like she has like it's like she has like a backwards hat on. I didn't get a good look at it, so I don't really know what it's like. But like there's so many other alternate outfits too that I could talk about. So that's a really cute element that they're adding to this game. What else was there regarding Mario Kart? I feel like there's an additional thing I'm forgetting to mention. Was that really it? I think that's really about it in regards to Mario Kart. Oh, actually, wait. Yes, I do remember. There's going to be no more kart customization. Now, I didn't mind the kart customization in the prior Mario Kart titles, but going back to like how things were with Double Dash, you just select the kart that fits right with you. It makes things a bit simpler, I think. No one's waiting like 20 minutes to get the right mechanics here. I will wager anything they saw the situation going on with Waluigi on the Wiggler car or the motorcycle or whatever in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Online. They're like, we got to prevent this. We don't want people just taking advantage of it. Just pick whatever car you want, and if you lose, skill issue. I'll wager that's probably why they got rid of the kart customization. I didn't mind it personally, but yeah, I understand why they did it. Why they got rid of it, rather. So yeah, guys, I think that's really just about everything I have to say. So yeah, I am looking forward to this console, but these tariffs are going to probably be the reason why this launch is going to suck. And if it's not going to be the tariffs, I will wager anything Nintendo is going to find a way to fumble the bag. But this system overall, I'm very much looking forward to. I think I really said everything I wanted to say. So guys, thank you so much for hearing me talk. Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm reiterating a lot of talking points that other commentators or other content creators have said, but still I wanted to get my piece out there while also displaying my artistic talents. That's really about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms. Links for everything will be in the description down below. Be sure to take care of each other, love each other, and I'll see you next video. Take care.